today we're going to be talking about some more recent releases. We're going to be talking about The Chosen and King of Kings, which are two recently released Christian movies that are actually getting positive reviews. Well, at least they're both doing a lot better than another certain movie, am I right? Disney? Now let's actually get to what the video's about. So this is the, what, fourth or fifth Noah's Ark movie we've talked about for this show. Let's see, there was the Golden Films movie, the Good Times Entertainment movie, the final episode of Veggie Tales, and I'm more than certain I maybe talked about Evan Almighty once or twice in a video before. And now we're talking about the one that I guess a lot of people wanted me to talk about. Very similar to Noah's Magical Ark, this is a movie where the story is mostly told from the perspective of the animals instead of from Noah and his family and whatnot. Except, unlike that movie, this one has a rather infamous reputation, but I haven't seen this movie in, I would say years, but I don't think I've actually seen it in full before. So let's talk about yet another Noah's Ark movie. This is Noah's Ark 2007, also known as El Arca, on account of the movie originally being made in Argentina. The movie begins with God and one of his angels walking among the mortals, seeing the sad state that humanity has fallen into. It's gotten so bad that people are now pickpocketing and stealing a medallion from what are clearly heavenly beings, on account of the glowing and all. But as the story goes, God sees a little hope in Noah and his family. Here, Noah has 3 sons who in turn have their own wives. I would give them points for being a little more accurate to the original story compared to the Golden Films version, but then you see how these people act.
The minute you're talking about my father, I won't allow you to talk that way.
Watch out how you talk to Mom Mary.
Don't dare mess with my husband. Oh, that's all you know how to do is yell. I am not yelling.
So I really think it says something that humanity has gotten so bad, this is the best humanity has left. And if you don't believe me, just wait a little bit later and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Also, all these people are supposed to be ancient Hebrews, and yet everyone sounds like they have contemporary accents and have modern hairstyles. Even a movie like The Star got that part of things right.
And so we then get a scene where Noah is being commanded by God to build the ark, who sends out a carrier pigeon to spread the word. However, the animals in this movie are also corrupted sinning jerks, since the pigeons go to a, gentleman's club for pigeons, one may say.
What if the flood thing is for real?
What a dunce! He spelled beer D-E-A-R!
Honestly, guys, have you ever seen clouds like these? Or heard thunder like that?
Wait a second, here comes some thunder.
It has really gotten so bad even the animals are unlikable. No wonder only 2 of every animal was saved and the others were wiped out.
But the word of the flood makes it to this lion named Zero, who's rather excited since he misconstrues the whole thing as a pleasure cruise.
To learn to love each other and multiply, yeah! Woohoo!
Oh, please tell me the lion isn't a vegetarian. Please, one vegetarian lion movie with Leo the lion is one too many, thank you. All these animals get together, naturally led by the lions. Oh no, now we're getting into Lion and the King, run! Who tells all of them about the incoming flood? Only for a unicorn, dragon, and big feets to say that they don't believe in all of this, implying that mythical creatures got wiped out in the flood. Again, a joke they already did in the Golden Films movie.
As well as Fantasia 2000, which probably did it the best out of all these movies.
And of course, the father of the Lion Prince, a Lion King one might say, says that they will need a strong leader to lead all the animals. But of course, his son Zero prioritizes his own selfish desires over the will of the people.
All of my suggestions have been rejected.
There must be a good reason.
Of course there is. Would you like to hear them? Newbie. Big boobs, no brains. Bruma. Too thin, no brains. Niebla. Too hippie, too busty, and no brains.
You know, years ago, if you were to tell me that one day I'd be watching an animated Noah's Ark movie where a talking lion says that out loud, I probably wouldn't believe you. But here we are.
Oh, Chris. Just you wait. This movie has plenty more to offer.
It'll be a great trip. Maybe a new beginning can also mean a new king.
Oh, cheese and crackers. I wonder if he's going to be the villain of the movie. It's not like you can tell or anything. Call it a hunch, a theory, a game theory, if you will. Zero's list of potential mates was shot down because of this royal advisor, Kyrell, who he's not really into because she's just too intelligent for him. Oh, cheese and crackers. I wonder if she's going to be the obvious love interest for the movie. It's not like you can really tell. Call it a hunch, a theory, a game theory, if you will. Meanwhile, with the humans, Noah finishes the Ark in a matter of days, so the animals get ready to board as the rains begin.
Your Majesty, I'm sorry to distract you from important matters.
Okay. This was made for children, right? Jeez, what other kind of things are they getting away with in Argentinian kids' films?
Welcome, all you creatures of the Lord. Welcome to our humble Ark. We living beings must prove that we are able to create a just world. But we will only do this if we can learn to trust one another. This is why nothing would make me happier than for you to decide to board our Ark and come along with us on this amazing adventure in peace.
As a representative...
But the rule, we aren't allowed to speak to the humans.
Yet another thing that is different from the Golden Films movie, where animals could speak but it is not understood by the humans. Though that makes me wonder, if they are not allowed to directly communicate with humans, why is there a seat for man in their animal council?
Either way, the storm begins and the animals make a dash onto the Ark. And what do you know, it seems Zero and Kyrell will be paired together after all, since his assigned mate gets crushed under the behind of a hippo because she was just standing there mouthing off to Kyrell. Not that it really seems to affect Zero that much.
Oh, there goes the sweet and tender future mother of my children.
Well, you clearly seem broken up about that. He sounds as devastated about that as you would finding $5 instead of a $20 bill in your wallet. I mean, for corn's sake, the woman that you were supposed to be paired up with so that you can continue your species just got crushed. Great, now we're bringing interspecies relationships into the movie. Great, it really is Leo the Lion. Oh, but while the Ark sets sails, let's quickly talk about some of these subplots. We have these two heathens who Noah sold his house to, who somehow live throughout the entire movie. How they survived the flood and weren't just struck down by lightning, I don't know. These two end up stowing away on the Ark and somehow are never noticed by the humans or any of the animals. And in between all of this, there are these scenes of God as he's writing the Bible, which he is continuously comparing to other religious texts. Maybe it's because God is omnipresent, but how are those religious texts finished and yet the Bible is still being written?
The Great Pity will be back later, but now the Dive is very proud to present our superstar performer, Panty.
Oh no. Here we go.
What? What's the matter?
It is this scene.
Scene? What scene?
Just watch.
Dear, don't try to run. I wouldn't bother. If you come with me, I will be the one who leads you to the slaughter. Try to stop me if you can. I hope that you will understand that if I eat you, it's not bad because it's all part of the plan. I want to live.
What kind of messed up movie is this? First we had birds with coconut tops, implied lion mating, interspecies relations, and now this, in a Noah's Ark cartoon nonetheless. Well, after whatever you want to call that tiger from earlier invites Zero to a drink, away from his friends. Naturally, that panther woman from earlier is all it takes to get him to up and leave his friends. But leave it to Kyrell to step in and tell him off, to get his act together, since he's destined to be the king and the leader of all the animals going forward.
Is your idea of a fair government trying to appeal to everyone?
I'm concerned about those I love, and you should do the same. A little fun never hurt anyone.
This is not just a pleasure trip. You should be a little worried by now. Isn't this rain telling you anything? I suppose
suppose now you'll understand that we all rely on your decisions. You are the king, the only survivor of your lineage. As far as showing concern about those I love, that's all I've done. That's all I've ever done.
So Zero decides to be a more proactive leader and listen to what the people want.
And if we modify the court's codes, we'll be able to reduce prison terms for all prisoners.
And investments in foreign currency must be respected. Everything I have is in the stock market.
And credits for small enterprises would be indispensable. Maybe not today, but someday in the future it could come in handy.
I think that we should regulate the use of drugs so that they can be used responsibly.
Alright. This is an adult film. Clearly they made this for older audiences and suspected that people like me would assume that it was a children's film simply because it's an animated cartoon. In which case they are absolutely right, because the only people that watch cartoons are really little children. I mean, after all, somebody think of the children, people!
It must be suitable for all ages.
This movie should take its own advice. Can we please get away from the animals and go back to see what the humans are doing?
We're the chosen ones. But all we ever do is work.
And that's bad?
Listen, old man, you are not shutting me up here for 40 days in the middle of this pond, feeding and cleaning up after those filthy animals.
Second thought, they're really annoying. Let's never show them again either. But just as Zero is starting to get a hand on being responsible, he's tempted by that panther woman again and is soon framed for murder. Yes, another wonderful thing in a children's film.
In their defense, this is a movie based on a Bible story. There was plenty of mature and violent content in some of those stories.
Meanwhile, Noah and his family pray for a little help, and after debating with himself whether he should, God saves them by sending the Ark off course towards Antarctica. Back with the animals, Zero's friends break him out of confinement, rather easily, and they surround that tiger and his flunkies as they hit them with whatever this is supposed to be. Interpretive tribal dance, maybe? I don't know. Before actually taking them out for good. Once outside, the animals notice the Ark is stuck in the snow and use torches to melt the snow so they can get the Ark back on course. And as they leave the Antarctic animals behind, those two wormy heathens are left behind and presumably eaten by the animals. Why were these characters in the movie again? And so the pigeons return to Noah with an olive branch, which means they found signs of dry land. And the movie ends with the animals celebrating with a party, and Zero and Kyrell finally get together.
Well then, I guess we should go to bed. Tomorrow we have lots of work to do.
Aw, just one more glass. It's not like it's the end of the world.
Kyrell.
That was Noah's Ark 2007, or El Arca. I really don't know how to make heads or tails of this movie. Oh god, that was a pun, wasn't it? The actual animation itself isn't that bad, and you can tell that they probably put a lot of love and passion into it. However, they put their passion into, some of the wrong things, if you ask me. I mean, it's a Noah's Ark movie where Noah is barely in it, his family is rather annoying, and honestly, their portrayal of God is quite blasphemous. Honestly, his portrayal in the movie just comes off as vain and whiny with a lot of the scenes and subplot that he was given. Apparently, this movie actually has a fan following of this group of people on the interwebs called the furries.
I dress like a squirrel and believe in God.
I believe I saw a report about that on Fox News or Newsmax or one of those. I don't know, and I really don't care. But how would I compare it to some of the other Noah's Ark movies we've seen? Well, in terms of its production, it was better than the Golden Films one, that's for sure. At least the music wasn't overbearingly loud and you can barely make out what characters were saying, as much as I probably wish they would. I guess there was a little more to offer compared to Noah's Magical Ark by Good Times Entertainment, but again, some of that content is a little questionable and dodgy. In all honesty, I'd probably rather watch this one compared to the VeggieTales one. Then again, I am incredibly biased because I really did not like the later VeggieTales. And yes, that is the only time you'll ever hear me say I am biased. Until next time, may Jesus be with you, and if you need me, I'm just gonna go see King of Kings instead.
Well, kind of. I identify as a cat, but the executives...
Did you hear that shit?